You put a code in there. You make one of them voicemail boxes. You'll have to. You call your number and see if there's one set up. If not, it'll yeah. Uh, anyway, uh, I've just been doing the same as usual. But it's trying to tell this person on Twitter uh, what I mean. It being dead out here, it's not to be disrespectful, but you know, it's the way you people treat things. A lot of you, and it is dead. You know, I told my wife I don't want to know anybody's on any kind of medicines. Now, if I hear that word, I'm gonna run for the hills. If it's anything but something over the counter, if it's some psychotic medicine or some, weird shit like the last one up here, I'm running the other way. Cause I and my wife both need to know this. And I know what Eric said. What Eric, yeah, two people. Well, it's all right. Two freaking people have actually come from one of those places, and they ain't done good. Maybe, and like I said, main issue, the main problem is cater. Huh? What is it? Oh, the cater's got a lot of church people wants to go sit there and stare at the walls. And age range is hard because, like I told my wife, you ain't got nothing with these dang school kids. And what few couples or what few people you might see are, oh, Derek, I rode in the car with a young woman the other day. Oh, big deal. They listen to her about like a staring at a stump. It's sad. It really is sad. Because they talk a good game. They wait till I'm not around. That's when these things seem to happen. I've learned over the last several years. Yeah, it's getting tougher to talk to anybody because they won't sit down there and shut up. They keep running their mouth. They keep telling you all the things they already got started. Who cares? Who the fuck cares about your goddamn kids and your fucking families and all that shit? If you got all that to deal with, then do it. Leave me and my wife out of it. I don't want to hear about taking no package. I want something like me and my wife, where at least if we had something with less crap in the way and hardly anything to have to worry about. And I'm going to say this. There's a saying out there, less is more, right? Less is more. So if I don't have to hear about some person going down the street and trying to dress somewhat inappropriately. They got clothes on, but sometimes it's too little for my taste. Especially when you're out in public. Oh, Derek, they look good. Yeah, their insides sure don't look that good. I hate it when my wife, And it's not her fault, but it just seems like everybody that talks to her is some fucking, something wrong with them. Like I said, I can't get them to sit down here not even 5 minutes. My God, it's terrible that we have this kind of problem up here. But I'm not going to change who I am or who my wife is just to get along with something I know is wrong. And I'm trying to do right and trying to see that there's something good out there, but it's getting tough to find because as much as I'd like to see this happen, this whole bestie thing and all this other stuff, you know, unless y'all, whoever you are out there, unless you can sit down there and hush, and I don't care what you tell me or what you tell us, as a whole, but you're going to get a response back. Don't think you're just gonna come up in here and waltz all over me. I ain't here to do nothing to harm anybody. But the problem is, if I can't speak my mind, if I can't tell you what's going on with you, and you let me know all your stuff that belongs on Steve Wilco's and all these other channels, all these other daytime talk shows, that's what the hell's wrong with you. You watch too much politics, too much news, and you fill your heads up with all that garbage. Or, like I said, I can go on Twitter right now, and there'd be a lot of people, lots and lots and lots of people, worrying about things that don't even concern them. Worrying about things that, like I said, if somebody had, maybe, well, yeah, we don't know what, we might have 45 years left. I don't know what we got, but, I tell my wife every day, each day that goes by, it's one less that y'all gonna have. So, it's not what I'd like to see, but it's just facts that y'all. If there is anybody out here, like I told her, there's nothing more we can do. We put videos out here. I shared, a couple of the nicer ones on Twitter. And showed what we had out there. It's funny. We could go all day long and hardly get anything on there, and there'll be somebody say, it might be for a good example, it might be somebody claiming to be one of these people off the TVs or whatever, and you're sitting there wondering, just like anybody would, is this a real person? Who knows? For all I know, it's, it could be anybody, but that's the thing. I'm not saying go slow like a tortoise, like I said, but first you're gonna need to get the hard stuff out of the way. I mean, we gotta learn. We ought to do that. I mean, it's not gonna torture them if they just be cool and straight with us. We can get through that in less than 5 minutes. It's no big deal. I used to do it all the time. I used to get good results, but ever since, all that stuff got brought up and all this other stuff that can be done on phones and type of crowds, my wife has accidentally got her hands wrapped around somehow, or gets in these situations. I mean, barring the people, that picks her up and brings her home or gives her a ride home. But I'm talking about just, the ones that she runs into and she wanted something to do with maybe before I got here. They hang around people that drink, smoke, do all kinds of drugs or whatever it is. And I ain't just talking about the stuff that the cops get you for. I'm just talking about anything. They sleep pills and all kinds of stuff. But if they don't really need, and that kind of crowd's just not going to gel well with me. It's not going to get you nowhere. I mean, you need that stuff like you need a hole in the head. That's what's wrong with you. And these doctors love to write that medicine stuff out. They love that, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not above taking a Tylenol or something, when I need something like that if I'm sick, but I watch, only take like maybe one, try to space it out, take one and maybe wait another day or two and then take another, I really don't try to take it like it's supposed to be, but I space it out, because my immune system's pretty fairly good. So, but no, it's just but that's why we found this deal or no deal game on there. We play it sometimes. We'll on here we'll do a list and put some stuff out on a list or something, because every time somebody talks on here or out and about, they don't have no pictures, they don't have anything really to add to your day. They just sit behind the TV screen and whatever they're doing, and it really doesn't do a whole lot. It really didn't help nothing. And then of course, like I said, you got all this stuff on the news. People watch too much of it, and that's the problem. You don't need to know everything. You don't. I mean, you only live one time. You don't have to watch that stuff 24/7. These people go home, and if you think about it long and hard, they probably go home and probably barely get any sleep at all. They up the next morning back on the TV. So, I don't know what else to say. That's exactly what's wrong with people of today. It's gotten to be a big problem, worse now than it ever was. Back in the day, I can tell a lot of people. They'll sit there and they'll make a Twitter, they'll make a Facebook, and then they'll plug something else. Now, I want to do this, and I want to do that. I want to see somebody actually grow some balls and come up and meet you. Get out of the house, do something. If I had to, I'd make sure I took Seth or something, or and go meet you down at the store or something. If you absolutely couldn't have a way here or something, but if you had, I've had people before my wife come. I've had people before no longer than a few minutes away. I don't know what road they lived on, but right out here used to be a hot spot. And trust me, it is a few hundred less than what the count is right now. It ain't much different, but it was about at least almost 100 less than what it is now. It was about 1,500 when I was, about 1,500. It went up to 1,647 people. So there's me and my wife right there. There's two people right there. So you ain't got, by the time you add all these apartment complexes, it probably takes about 100 of them right there. There's about 30 apartments there. There's at least two of them. And you got the trailers and things down there. So out there's probably 30, 40 more people. So out there's three places. That don't count Decatur Hills. It don't count what's on River Road, what's in them or whoever lives, and because like I said, I don't go around all these roads. I very seldom get on Setter and see anybody riding anymore. So, and when I do, it's usually just people you don't really see anything in. It's somebody going. And I try not to say too much. I mean, it's very rare when I've seen somebody that I did like. The two times it's happened, I tried to capitalize. Not it's very rare, but I don't usually. Most time, my wife will run an errand or do something. And I may, this coming week I may go ahead and get out because we're pretty well caught up on our bill this. So, but I mean, at times, if I think because like I said, I've added up. It's about 60 times in a year that I get out, and if I don't get out every time on those 60 times, it's even less. But I mean, I do hate it for those that seem to, they give off these good impressions, and of course, I get accused. Eric, how do you know this? How you do? I just do. I just go with my gut. It's not always right when I'm playing the deal or no deal game, but as far as people go, you know, I hate to say it, but I can usually get you in about 5 minutes or less. Just depending on how you act and what you say and how you do. These people that bring my wife home, well, I mean, she ain't rolled with nobody since then that's been out. But
Come home.
I just told her, because we had one here about 3 weeks ago. I said,
I'm right home with Mary up the road.
I mean, I told her, I said, Hazel or somebody or that, or somebody that I mean, yeah, they ain't really anything in that, but, I don't, because I hate it when when she's tried, they say, oh, you need to ride home, kind of thing.
I'm not trying to get.
But it's just like they'll lie. They'll lie right in front of her face. I tell her all this good shit, and then it's like I can pick through it. And she did it the same. She's like, "How do you know, honey? How do you know? Because I don't see them in front of me. I know she can't help it, but I'm saying if they meant for you to have something to do with them, I'm talking about any person out there, they would follow through with what they know they should do. Yes, this driveway is not the best in the world. But I tell you what, Setter can get up it. Everybody that comes out here has gotten up it, one way or another. As long as you stay in the middle and you ain't one of them crazy people trying to go too fast, run like a racetrack, it's doable. I don't and that's why, when my wife had that talk, I said, well, there's Hazel and there's all these other people that she kind of gets rides from anyway. Most of the time they're down there anyway.
Yeah.
I know she goes out of her way sometimes, but, our dad there last, about, like we said, about 3 weeks ago. But, because people try to talk their ears off, just like the time she tried to go down there and get, try to get some, somewhere with with one of these damn, job things, whatever. These people come off, they well, I mean, they talk a good game in front of her, but you put me in that room, I can sense it. I mean, you don't have to do a whole lot. If I like you, If I take a liking to you, like I said, then you'll know either way. But I'm very quick, so I mean, you really do have to watch. Who would know? Well, my people who raised me, for one, would know I'm this way. I just didn't get to do it to as many people as I probably could have done it to had I wanted to get my feet wet a little bit sooner, and some stuff. But I really wasn't out there for that then. I was being a kid trying to, but I realized that all the stuff that my wife and I have at our disposal is no good. As far as the family stuff and all this garbage, it was no good. So we tried to reach out here. So, and try this. There's nothing more we can do. I mean, we put it out there and put things out, but I can't help the person if they can't help themselves and sit there and be quiet and learn that we're not trying to boss you around. It's things you should do, which upsets you because somebody else knows that you didn't do those things that you should have done. So if you're somebody out there trying to say, hey, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, it ain't judging. I mean, if you want to go that route and say that, then okay. If you want to use that word, but you've got to have enough common sense. One of the good things about making a video, you know what I sound like, you know what my voice is like. So, if you're somebody that can't, if your daddy and your mama ain't taught you well in this generation, it ain't my fault. There's people my age, 30, 31, 32, 33. They've all been raised around these, there could be some younger ones. But, a little bit younger than that. It don't matter. The thing is, you just got to go with the flow. It's not going to hurt you. But that's what gets me rounded up at people because all they do is the same thing in 5 minutes, or it don't take much more than that. If you're gonna be that way, and I don't want to waste our time. I don't want to do that. And like I told her, I said I don't know if it'll be when we're out and about. I mean, one good thing I have done is kept a lot of them people quiet, in the store now. Seem like they got the hint after that people with them damn kids. They act like me or my wife fucking cares, and we don't. And they're not ours. They're someone else's, right? Someone else's that they're going to have to deal with them when they get home. I'm not opening, like I said before, I'm not opening up a babysitter's club. I'm not doing anything. I've had a few kids that hadn't never seen me before take a liking to me. It just depends on who you are and what, and if you're, somebody who, like I told my wife, it's never a good thing when you got one on one side and another on another. If you just had maybe one, I've even had trouble with one. It just depends. It's not easy. That's why I always said, my perfect unicorn bestie would have to be somebody. If I was going to have it go the way I wanted it to go and the way my wife would want it to go and it go smooth, it'd have to be no kids. None whatsoever. Family, I could deal with it as long as they wasn't trying to be too pushy. There's things there, or somebody trying to throw their friends out all of a sudden, just having, tattling all the time, telling them all about us and let us see how we do first. That's my take on it. Because when you tell something too early, and someone, you really like, or that, it's to me, and the way I've always worked is it's always been better if you don't tell right away. You know, if you're happy and then my wife's happy with it, then we'll worry about everyone else that you got in your circle or what they think or however they think. If we like each other, we shouldn't worry about what they think. But the thing is, the only thing that concerns me is what I've seen out of the few people that I have seen, and they've not been up to par at all. They've struggled to. It's an old golf reference. Par means even. So if you ain't in the middle, at least where I can see that we're on some kind of an equal page or some, you know, it's just not going to work. You can't be on one side and us on another. No, and like I told my wife, it's not about being a tortoise about this stuff, but you got to get to know these people. And if they ain't truthful, trust me, I'll find it out very quickly. So if you try to pull if anybody tries to pull one of their stunts, and this is not what I want, but if you try to pull one of these stunts, then most time I pretty much sense it. So, if you're going to do that, I wouldn't suggest you do anything. Save us the time and trouble. But we meant for this to be something good, something nice. Somebody, at least for me, I could say that it would be easier if it was done the way I had it set up in my head. Unfortunately, people like my wife say, well, people love to have kids, Derek. Well, I'm sure they do. I'm sure it's also one of those type of things where what you see on in real life. Oh, my mom had me. I like to have two or three of my own. It's a habit. It's just a habit. It's not a knock on it, but it's also one of them things where you get people saying, man, these kids take a good portion of my life up. And it frustrates me. It stresses me out. It gets on my nerves. I mean, I've heard it from my grandparents. They invited me up there to stay with them for 10, 11 years, whatever it was, 12, 13, I don't remember. But a good portion of my, life I stayed up there and, so, I mean, it goes both ways. You're like when you're a kid and you're doing good in their eyes, but it's just like monkey see, monkey do. Once the flavor of the chewing gum is out, and that's pretty much where I stood, and that's where my wife stands. Some of her people. Well, once your flavor is done and you've gotten all the flavor out, there's nothing more left. I mean, so. It's just what you people have been showing as of late, And so I've just kind of been trying to advise my wife if she has one of these trusty people that, she has rode with before, I would probably do that. Not because, and like I said, it's nothing against you youngins out there, but I just feel better. Because my wife tells me you talk a lot of shit, and I don't doubt it. You talk a good game, but you don't. You say I'm interested, and I'm interested in the offer. Why can't my wife entice you enough to come on up the driveway? If you got, like I said, if you got that family crap, and you've got all kinds of other kids and stuff you're paying attention to, then that's why I'm making this video right now. Just leave us the fuck alone. I don't care whether they're in a nursing home or whether they're fixing to die tomorrow. If you've got something that's tying yourself up, that you can't, keep your word, and keep your mouth shut. You know, I can't help me and my wife's got all this time. Me and my wife's got a lot of time that we like to spend with somebody special. If you're able to, if you're one of them that says, look, I'm like him. I don't hardly ever get out, but when I do, I make it count. You know, I get my crap and I get out just like they do. You know, but I could use a little company right now. Just putting this out there as an example. You know, black, white, mixed, whatever color you are or whatever, you know. Like I said, we put everything out here and, you know, it seems like the only thing and I've seen is these people that's already got. I asked my wife just the last time one of these people was actually in front of me. I said, "How the hell did she get married if her butt hurts so easy?" I'm surely, and I probably could bet some money, because I guarantee you, and she's had her feelings hurt more than what I said. Man, we know who we're talking about here. This, you know, it doesn't make sense. You know, if you're that easy to upset, you can't. There's no way you can function. Apologies don't work for me. You know, it doesn't do no good. It's too late. That's why I advised and will advise if there is, they probably never be a next time. But in the event that can't help it again and happens to be, I'm taking some measures. You know, I'll go hide in the damn fucking ditch somewhere. I'll find some hole to get in. I certainly don't want to be seen by any more of these local law enforcement wives out here. And these things, you know, people that work for the fire department. I don't have no problem with the guys doing what they were doing. It's all these damn women coming in here hugging and kissing and whatever else. You know, trying to act like they really care about somebody. Now, all you gotta do is say one little thing. Oh my God, my feelings are hurt. Oh Lord. I mean, like I said, I can understand if I was cussing. I can understand if I did something and said something that was real hurtful. But what I said to this lady was nowhere near that tone. And she knows who she is. I'd never be a day I ever lay my eyes on something like that again. I told my wife, I said, I can have you go outside. If it involves me, I'll have one of them guys check me out. Because it disgusts me. That just makes me feel bad. It tears my stomach up. Know that you can't speak, you can't talk, you got to be quiet, you can't do nothing. You feel like you're locked up in a jailhouse. Because these people get their little feelings hurt. Well, I'm talking about anybody. And that's what to do. I ain't gonna stop until these people, whoever it is, learns. You know. Well, they ain't nobody hardly watching them anyhow. But they just like I said. Well, it wasn't my choice to fucking whore come in here. You know, wasn't my fucking choice. I didn't even know that she's fucking gonna come up here and show out like that. I didn't do it I didn't do it in front of her, which I should have done it in front of her. I should have asked her husband. I said, "How the fuck did you marry her?" I should have told him. I should have pulled him aside. I said, "Look, yeah, I should have. I didn't, but I should have asked him. I really wanted to because it really hurt, you know. And because the whole thing was something stupid. That my wife asked her a simple question, she couldn't answer it, so I chime in. I give, I gave an honest, you know, uh, opinion on something. Wasn't like I said, wasn't like I was being hard to get along with. I was just letting them know. This person know that, yeah, she's been played by the people before that have offered her something similar to what she wanted to do. She just wanted to try to get out there and get something where she'd have a little something to do. But she just fall short every time out here in the local area of Decatur. You say you won't help, but you won't do nothing to finalize it. You say, oh yeah, it takes 2 or 3 weeks to do this. Well, hell, it's been months now. It's been almost 2 months ago. I didn't know you had a side job to be an EMT. Well, thing is, if you ain't no better than that, I don't know what the hell anybody's going to be able to do. Because I don't think I want my wife being nowhere near any other people like that. I mean, I better be flat on the ground and can't fucking move. Or the house better be blowed up and on fire or something. Then I'd understand. But if it ain't life or death, I'm gonna try to avoid anything, to do with these people out here at all costs. It's not, because like my wife, she wants me to be nice, and I do. I am nice. And my wife and I have been married 10 years. We, like all people, we have times where we have to talk things out. We have times where we have to sit down and discuss something. If we don't have nothing better to do, sometimes it's stuff we have went over 100 times. But it's just me and her here. It ain't hurting nobody. But no, it's just it ain't her fault. It ain't my fault. It's everybody that comes up. It's a gossiper. It's a butthurt person. It's some you can hurt somebody's feelings just talking about politics or like they act like these people actually go home with them. Like Donald Trump fucked somebody that they get their feelings hurt if you even say one little thing about it. Or, God forbid, like last night, oh my God, we're supposed to have a tornado out here. Weather people. I always told my wife this. I said, the weather people on TV, they get, oh my, there's old Naim Sneezador. I don't know which one it is. I can't tell you. Old Naim. But I told my wife we're supposed to have oh my God, Derek, we're supposed to have 60, 70 mile an hour winds. I had the weatherman on there. He's carrying on, and oh my goodness, you better take cover. I said, honey, I've been here almost my whole life, and there ain't hardly been a thing. That's one thing I do like about Decatur. That the weather is pretty good. There have been a couple times here or there, very rarely, but there is a time or two where it does happen, where it's good enough to be called a bad storm here, but they were way off. Oh yeah, we got a few lightning things and a little bit of thunder and some rain, but we didn't get the wind part. Because if we got the wind part, I'd have known. Because there'd been people couldn't have drove out here and that. But they hype it up, 10 fool on that stuff. That's what they get paid to do. Well, Derek, they go by their screen and all this other stuff. And, well, if they was like me and they went with their gut, maybe. Because, they're never right. That's about the only job you could have that you don't have to be totally right about. I would go with my gut. I might say, well, this thing says that, but my guts tell me, I don't know. You never know about me. I don't. I'm not a weatherman, but I can tell you more times I've been up here and know this area real good. I mean, I have had times where when I used to live up at my grandmother's. At the time, as I call her, the head of the snake, gossiper. What now? But I used to live up there over home. My aunt used to call her, oh, it's pouring down rain down here. It's thunder and lightning carrying on or something. He'd go, we'd be up there and be like, ain't done nothing here. By the time it got up all the way up to River Road, it didn't do a thing. But no, Derek, I'm going to have to come with what they call a warning label. uh, because as much as my wife, puts me out, and she does a good job. She tells them all the good things. We try to be good, but I might have to have them out like a warning label. It comes on me. but it's just because I mean everybody that comes up here they act funny around me. They act good in front of her for 5 minutes. You get them in front of me for 5 minutes and they start wanting to tell me everything that's wrong with them. And I told her I ain't Dr. Phil. And I can't, I can talk. That's a good thing about my wife and the few people that I have had in front of me. It's another good thing about Connie. One of them people like that, you could sit down there and they can talk about anything. And it could be from the smallest thing to the medium-sized stuff to the stuff that's, the large, biggest, extra large type thing. But everybody else that I've seen around here, and I'm just speaking for a few people that's been up here that I've laid my eyes on or heard anything about, they always, and so far, that's what it's going to be for a little bit. But like I said, it's every day's, yeah. Oh my. Oh, now you sneeze the door. Oh, I know it. But no, well, I mean, like I said, we had people, that came out and, we thought we had something around Christmas or so, and turned out to be a dud. like always, like I told her, it's hard enough just to get somebody to come up out here, But no, I just thought, well, come out here but see, it's quiet tonight. But yeah, we just play it. Deal or no deal game, or I'll watch some on here and put them up. Every one of them I can find. They ain't but an hour long. Well, less if they cut the commercial out. So, but anyway, well, if we might make another video sometime later, but I just put out some tweets and stuff on the Twitter machine. But anyway, we'll probably come on here later. But if anybody likes any of that stuff on here, well, I guess you can watch it. Most of the stuff I got's just stuff I'm into mainly. Me and my wife she likes it too. I mean, there ain't much to choose from. We don't buy the premium stuff. And I don't like trying to buy stuff, with fooling with all that card mess. We just get what we can get. But anyway, we'll All right, in later.